Some faceless YouTube channels are pulling in millions of views, and they're doing it with one structure that resets attention every 20 seconds. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact content formula those channels use, why this structure keeps attention, how they turn long-form facts into real income, and how you can build your own faceless version step by step. Let's start with the case study, because once you see the pattern, everything clicks. A great example is a channel called RealLifeLore. It was created in 2016, and today it's sitting near 8 million subscribers with over 1.9 billion total views. One of its most famous videos is called "The Ocean is Way Deeper Than You Think." It's about 6.5 minutes long, and it's crossed roughly 40 million views. Now here's where it gets interesting. Channels like this still pull in millions of views every month, and long form typically monetizes better than shorts. In many educational niches, RPM hovers around $5 per 1,000 views. At 4 to 5 million monthly views, that's roughly $20,000 a month from ads alone, before sponsorships, and most of these channels layer sponsors on top. Now, I'm not saying you'll replicate that overnight. What matters isn't the size. That ocean video didn't explode by luck. It followed a very specific psychological pattern. Let me break it down. The video opens with a strong mental image you can visualize instantly. If we flattened the continents, the entire Earth would be covered by an ocean roughly 2 miles deep. The structure uses what I call escalating milestones. It starts with something familiar, like a human, then it scales up with comparisons like an elephant, then a ship, and then it moves through milestones: 40 meters, 93 meters, 214 meters, 500 meters, 830 meters, about the height of the Burj Khalifa, then 1,000 meters. At this depth, sunlight disappears completely. Notice that the tone shifts here. They literally label it the scary zone. Complete darkness, crushing pressure, strange creatures. That shift resets attention, and every 15 to 30 seconds, something changes. A new depth, a new comparison, a new danger, and a new visual. And this is where most beginner videos fail. That constant escalation is what keeps the brain engaged. You keep watching because your brain is asking, how far does this go? This structure is reusable. You can apply it to the tallest mountains, the coldest temperatures ever recorded, the fastest objects in the universe, the oldest living things on Earth, or the most extreme places humans have survived. In a minute, I'll show you exactly how to build this step by step. But before we move on, notice something important. This channel doesn't rely on personality. It relies on clarity, which is exactly why this works so well for faceless creators. And RealLifeLore isn't the only example. Channels like the Infographics Show, Brightside, and Riddle all use variations of the same engine. Clear topic, strong title promise, escalating structure, simple visuals, consistent packaging, different styles, but the same psychology. So the real question becomes, how do you build your version of this without a team, without advanced animation, and without getting overwhelmed? That's where we move into the first part of the system, and it's where most beginners hit a wall. New channels quietly die because they improvise every upload. And when you improvise every week, you burn out fast. So instead of guessing every time you sit down to create, we're going to build a simple content system. Here's what I want you to do. Open a blank document and brainstorm at least 20 video ideas. Not 5, not a few, 20. Because when you only have 3 ideas, every upload feels risky. But when you have 20 ideas sitting in front of you, it feels strategic. I've condensed this entire workflow into a one-page checklist. I'll link it below. Now, here's how to think about ideas properly. For example, 10 coldest places ever inhabited by humans, the deepest places humans have ever reached. Why the Bermuda Triangle still confuses scientists. 5 natural phenomena that look fake but aren't. Your playground is weird places, extreme limits, strange science, unsolved mysteries, and record-breaking measurements. Now, if your brain freezes, let the algorithm do some of the thinking for you. Go to YouTube and start typing things like strangest natural, the coldest place, the deepest, the fastest. Watch what auto-completes. Those suggestions aren't random. They exist because thousands of people are already searching for them. Write them down, then go one step deeper. Open a popular video in your niche and scroll through the comments. You'll see pretty interesting things. That's free market research. When viewers ask questions, they're telling you exactly what they're curious about next. If you want 50 pre-validated topic prompts, they're inside the free checklist below. There are 2 types of videos you want, Evergreen and Spikes. Evergreen topics bring steady traffic year-round, things like the deepest oceans or the coldest cities. Spikes come from trends like a solar eclipse, a major discovery, or a viral breakthrough. Mix both, but never chase a trend you don't actually care about. In faceless content, your voice carries everything, and if you sound bored, retention drops. A simple framework is a 70-30 split. 70% evergreen, 30% trend responsive. That gives you stability and upside at the same time. Now let's make this practical. Pick a posting rhythm you can sustain for 6 months, not 2 weeks. 6 months. If you're starting from zero, 1 long-form video per week is more than enough. That's 4 per month. In 6 months, that's 24 videos. And this is where people underestimate compounding. If each video averages just 2,000 views per month after it settles in, that's nearly 50,000 monthly views. This is a library model. You're building digital property. So open your calendar and assign 1 topic per week for the next month. It doesn't need to be fancy. A simple note in your phone works, because once you know what's coming next, you stop procrastinating. And once viewers see you show up consistently, trust begins to build. And trust is what eventually converts into subscribers, affiliate clicks, community members, and course buyers. And if you miss a week, relax. This isn't a corporate deadline. Once you publish your first few videos, something powerful happens. Your audience starts contributing ideas. Comments turn into topics. Questions turn into scripts. And content begins feeding itself. That's when momentum really starts. And now that you've got your idea bank and publishing rhythm locked in, let's move into the part that intimidates most beginners, scripting. I'm going to show you how to do this without sounding robotic, even if you use AI. This is where most people overcomplicate everything. They think they need to sound like a BBC narrator or some dramatic documentary voice. You don't. Remember the ocean depth case study? That video didn't win because of big words. It won because of progression. So let's break this into 4 simple stages. Stage 1, controlled research. Start broad, then go deep. Use Wikipedia for context. Then verify with science sites, reputable news, educational blogs, or documentaries. But don't fall into a research rabbit hole. If your topic is 5 weird weather phenomena, you don't need 200 facts. You need 5 strong, verified mini-stories. Raining frogs, blood rain in Kerala, ball lightning. That's enough. Save your sources in a document so you can double-check details. That alone separates you from recycled content. You can even say something simple in your video like, "Sources are linked below. We're here to learn, not invent." That builds authority instantly. Stage 2, build the escalation framework. Now we build the engine. Pick 1 scale, depth, temperature, speed, age, size, danger, distance. Then create 8 to 12 milestones along that scale. Each milestone should have 4 things: a fact, a relatable comparison, a small escalation, and a tease of what's next. Instead of saying Death Valley is the hottest place on Earth, say Death Valley holds the record at 56.7 degrees Celsius, but that's just air temperature. In Turkmenistan, there's a crater nicknamed the Door to Hell that's been burning for over 50 years, and it gets even stranger from there. Now, the viewer wants the next step. That's the difference. Every 20 to 30 seconds, something changes. If your video doesn't escalate, it dies. Stage 3, use AI without sounding like AI. AI is powerful, but don't use it as a copy machine. Use it as a thinking partner. You can ask it for an outline for a 7-minute Bermuda Triangle video using escalating milestones, or extreme temperature records ranked from mild to extreme. Then you rewrite it. Tighten the sentences, shorten the paragraphs, add transitions like, "But here's where it gets strange." And this is where things shift. Now we enter the dangerous zone. AI gives structure, you add rhythm, and always fact check. Stage 4, script for retention. Here's the rule. Never let 2 paragraphs pass without forward motion. Shift the scale, add a comparison, or raise the stakes. For example, this is flat. The Mariana Trench is about 11,000 meters deep. This escalates. The Mariana Trench drops nearly 11,000 meters, deep enough to swallow Mount Everest and still leave over a mile of water above it. Same fact, different impact. You can also use simple lines like, "Right now, we're still in the safe zone," Or keep that number in mind because the next milestone makes it look tiny. Those small shifts dramatically increase watch time, and long videos only work if people stay. In the beginning, aim for 5 to 8 minutes. That's long enough to build watch time and short enough to stay manageable. You can scale to 10 or 15 minutes later. And don't stress if your first script feels awkward. The channels with 40 million views didn't start there. They improved through repetition. Now that your script is ready, the next question is obvious. Who's reading it? Let's talk voiceovers, because in faceless content, your voice is the brand. You have two options, your voice or AI. I recommend your own voice, especially in the beginning, and even if you think, I don't have the right voice, you probably do. You don't need expensive gear. Start with your smartphone. Modern phone mics are more than good enough. Find a quiet room. Turn off fans, close windows, reduce background noise, and here's a simple hack. Record in a closet or under a thick blanket. It kills echo instantly. Before recording, read your script out loud once. Then hit record. Speak about 10% slower than normal. Enunciate clearly. Smile slightly while talking. It sounds small, but smiling changes your tone. It makes you sound warmer and more confident. And if you mess up, don't restart. Pause. Repeat the sentence. Keep going. Fix it in editing. Now, if you don't want to use your own voice, AI voice tools in 2026 are extremely good. Tools like 11 Labs or WaveNet can sound natural when used properly, but never accept the first export. Listen like a viewer. Ask yourself, would I actually listen to this for 8 minutes? If it sounds robotic, rushed, or flat, people will click off. Adjust speed, add pauses, control emphasis, and always clean it up. Even basic editing in Udacity, like trimming mistakes, reducing noise, and normalizing volume, makes a massive difference. In faceless content, audio quality equals authority, and authority equals retention. Now you've got a structured script and clean audio. That's your backbone. Next, we make it visually engaging without ever touching a camera. This is where most channels quietly lose 40% of their viewers. The human brain expects change. If nothing on screen changes, attention starts to drift. That's just how we're wired. So as a simple rule, aim for one visual shift every 5 to 10 seconds. A new image, a subtle zoom, highlighted text, an animated map, a scale comparison, etc. For a World Facts channel, you'll mostly use things like nature footage, maps, historical photos, space clips, scale comparisons, and clean text graphics. Free platforms like Pexels, Pixabay, and Unsplash offer commercial use visuals. Just make sure you double-check licensing before you publish. Copyright strikes are momentum killers, and you don't want that headache. You can also use public domain images or tools like Google Earth for geography-based topics. Now let's talk editing. Free tools like OpenShot or Shotcut are more than enough to place visuals on a timeline. Layer your voiceover, add light music, and adjust timing. That's really all you're doing. If editing feels overwhelming, AI tools like Pictory or InVideo can generate a rough first draft from your script automatically. That can save time, but don't rely on them blindly. You can apply some small visual reinforcements to reset attention and improve comprehension. For example, every time you mention a number, show it. If you say 5 billion years, flash it on the screen. If you say 1,000 meters, show a depth scale. Also, a lot of viewers watch without sound, especially on mobile, so captions increase accessibility and can quietly boost watch time. You can add subtle background music to enhance the atmosphere. The YouTube audio library has plenty of free tracks. For World Facts, something atmospheric or slightly mysterious works well. Just keep it low. Your voice should always dominate. You can also add light sound effects for emphasis, like a low rumble during a volcano segment or subtle ocean ambience during a deep sea milestone, as long as you don't overdo it. At this point, you've structured your idea, written a retention-driven script, recorded clean audio, and added dynamic visuals. Your first upload won't look like a National Geographic documentary. That's fine. You'll get better with every video uploaded. Now, there's one final piece that determines whether your video grows or dies. Getting people to click, because if they don't click, nothing else matters. Let's talk about titles, thumbnails, and how to work with the algorithm instead of hoping it magically finds you. Uploading a video is easy, but uploading it in a way that gives it leverage, that's where creators separate. Let's start with the two elements that determine whether your video lives or dies: the title and the thumbnail. You want two forces working together in your title, search intent and curiosity tension. For example, instead of calling a video Facts About Volcanoes, you could say 5 volcano facts. So strange, scientists still can't explain them. That title includes the keyword volcano facts, which supports search. It also adds tension with still can't explain, and it uses a specific number, which makes it feel structured and digestible. Now let's talk thumbnails. Most viewers are on their phones scrolling quickly on small screens. Your thumbnail needs one strong image, 2 to 4 bold words at most, high contrast, and a clear focal point. Don't clutter it with 8 different elements. Think simple, readable, emotion-driven. One small thumbnail tweak can double your clicks. A strong title and thumbnail alone can dramatically improve your click-through rate. And when a strong CTR combines with solid retention, that's what triggers growth. Next, write a clean description. Summarize what the video covers. Naturally include relevant keywords, link your sources, and clearly disclose any affiliate links. Tags don't carry the weight they once did, but it's still worth adding a few relevant ones for context. Now, let's simplify the algorithm conversation. There's no secret trick. YouTube responds to viewer behavior. If people click, stay, and engage, the platform shows your video to more people. If they click and leave quickly, distribution slows down. At the end of your video, ask something simple like, which milestone surprised you the most? That one question can increase comments, and engagement reinforces distribution. In the beginning, you might upload a video and get 23 views. That's normal. Reply to every comment anyway. When viewers see you responding, they realize there's a real person behind the channel. Even faceless brands need human presence in the comments. Once you have 5 to 10 videos live, open your analytics. Look at the audience retention graph, look at average view duration, and look at the click-through rate. Where are people dropping off? Is it in the first 30 seconds, the midpoint, the ending? If one video performs better than the others, ask yourself why. Was the hook stronger? Was the topic more specific? Was the thumbnail clearer? Was the escalation tighter? Now imagine this. You've been uploading consistently for 3 months. Views are climbing slowly. Comments are increasing, and watch time is compounding. At that point, the obvious question becomes, how do you turn this into income? Let's break that down strategically. Most creators think monetization starts at 1,000 subscribers. Technically, that's when ad revenue begins, but real monetization starts earlier than that. To join the YouTube Partner Program, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the past 12 months, or 10 million shorts views in 90 days. With long-form content, you're aiming for watch hours. Once approved, you can turn on ads. In most educational niches, ad revenue often lands between $1 and $4 per 1,000 views, depending on audience and geography. So 100,000 monthly views might mean $100 to $400. 1 million views could mean $1,000 to $4,000. These are ranges, not guarantees, but you don't have to wait for ads. You can use affiliate links from day one, like tools, books, software, and platforms, as long as you disclose clearly. In many cases, a small percentage of viewers converting can outperform ads early on. And this is where the hybrid model gets powerful. As your audience grows, you can add digital products like ebooks, mini courses, templates, or a paid community. Even a 1 to 3% conversion rate can exceed ad revenue. Later, aligned sponsorships can layer on top. Just follow one rule. Never exaggerate income, never fabricate results, and never promote products that don't fit your audience. Alright, we covered a lot. Here's the simplified version. One clear angle, one structured framework, one publishing rhythm. Repeat. If you're serious about building a faceless income stream this year, download the Launch Your First Faceless Channel in 7 Days checklist below. It's the entire workflow, condensed into one page so you don't miss a step. 6 months from now, you could have 24 videos live, steady watch time, your first affiliate commissions, and your first 1,000 subscribers. That growth doesn't come from consuming, it comes from publishing. If you want deeper guidance, join my creator community where I break down advanced monetization and scaling. But for now, keep it simple. Open a document, write your first script, record a test voiceover, and upload. And when you're ready to go beyond ad revenue, watch the next video where I break down how to launch your first simple digital product without burning out. I'll see you there.